Check. How about now, guys? I freaking hate computers. I hate computers. I hate them with a passion. No, it's not you, Kristen. It's me. I hate computers. I really do. You guys have audio. There's about a minute delay between when I'm talking and when you guys, or when I'm actually talking and when you guys see me talking. So, gosh, I can tell you, I really, really hate computers. I need tech support. I need tech support. No, so going back to what I was saying as I was talking and there was no audio. Oh, Lord, we'll get there. Eventually, we will figure this out. That's what happens. That's what happens. What is it? You don't plan to fail, you just fail to plan. So, yeah, we had no audio, though. But we got it worked out now. Thanks, Kristen, for letting me know that there is no audio there. But we got it. We are working. We are working now. So for those that are new, as we were saying earlier before we got so rudely disconnected and everything because we had no audio. This is a series that we're putting together to teach you how to build your own blog site. Break time over. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, Kristen. But this is a way that we show you how to build your own site, your own blogging site using WordPress. Now, last week we showed you how to install WordPress, or to install the Linux or the LAMP stack on the Windows and also the Linux environment. And so we're going to continue with that today, so you guys can at least get WordPress installed. And, you know, WordPress is a pretty cool site. It is a content management system. It allows you to put content in. You don't have to be a programmer to learn how to use it. You just type. It's fairly easy, and we'll get into that a little bit as we progress. But today's goal is to get WordPress installed on your Linux or even on your Windows system. If you want to know how to install the LAMP stack, the Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, which you need in order to run WordPress, go back to our older videos, and they're down in the links below, and watch those and everything. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. You can send that to writecodelive@gmail.com. That's writecodelive@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer them. Now, we also have a really, really cool feature starting tomorrow. I know that we said we were going to start it today, but just busy. Monday, right? So starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow, we are going to actually be online and working, and then you can call in with your questions, and I'll be glad to answer those for you live right here. That's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Live, as we're working on the site. So without further ado, let's jump right into it today. Now, as we were working on the site yesterday, or on Friday, we left it off basically with the PHP info page, where it's showing us that PHP is running, and we have all the drivers that we need. If you scroll down, you'll see where you see the MySQL and all of those drivers that we're going to need. And drivers are basically other applications. They drive things. I mean, come on. Pretty self-explanatory there. So MySQL and the different connectors and stuff like that. And we'll get into these things a little bit later, but you should be at least seeing this page. For those that installed the XAMPP stack, the way that you would get to that is obviously it's down here in the bottom right, and you would say show hide, and it brings it up. If it's not running, just go into your search bar and type in XAMPP, and it should bring it up as well. Make sure that it's green for both. Both of these are running and everything. Green is good. Now, there's a couple of things, and I'm going to show you guys some tools down the road. But right now, what's really cool about XAMPP is it comes with tools to manage your databases, to connect and do things with your database. And we're going to use those here in a few minutes. So just kind of keep this screen up and running. That's very important. Now, the other thing is we need WordPress. We got to install WordPress, and this is how you do it. Yeah, there's my favorite sites, right? Go to. So you go to WordPress. Now, to be honest with you, downloads. And that's going to take you to the WordPress download site. Of course, then you click on downloads. Download WordPress. There you go. Download, and this is the latest one, 474. So you save that to your local drive, wherever you're going to save it. This is really easy to install. It doesn't get, WordPress doesn't get any easier. And there's other content management systems. There's Joomla. There's just a plethora. I mean, I use WordPress just because it's the easiest. But you can pick. Now, obviously, we're going to use WordPress. So if you pick something else other than what we have, that would be a good call for you tomorrow to make at 11 o'clock when you need help. And we'll have those phone lines up and running for you. So now we have our WordPress site. So we're going to say show all downloads, and we're going to just bring this out here. Close that out. All right. So we have our WordPress site. Now, what's important that you need to know how to do is you got to remember, not know how to do, but you got to remember where you installed your WordPress site on Friday. And you're going to need that directory. So let's just go to it. And wherever you install it, remember it's in the XAMPP, XAMPP folder. And go to that. And then you're going to be looking for something that says htdocs right here. So there's your htdocs. Now, these are actually all the sites that I have up and running, all the codes, all the different pieces of code that I'm working on at any given time. So htdocs. And then from there, what you want to do is you just open up your WordPress site, right? Now, inside here, you want to, give yourself a new name or whatever. So I'm going to give this, I'm going to right mouse click, say new folder. And I'm going to call this Write Code Live. Enter that. Now we're going to open that up, right? So we have Write Code Live. And we also have our WordPress site right here. Well, this is really easy, guys. Just open this up, take all of these files. So highlight the top one. If you guys don't know this, go to the bottom one, hit Shift, and then click on it. And then hit Control C, the control button, and then go to your other where you want to put it and hit Control V. There you go. And what that is that copies and pastes. That saved you a little shortcut there. Control C, Control V. And there you have it. It's there. It is technically there ready for you to do your thing. So now what you do is you go up to your browser and you type in WordPress, or actually the name of the site that I'm doing is Write Code Live, right? Because this is a subdirectory off of the main. Now, if I wanted to have it go right to the web server, typically when you go to writecodelive.com, that's at the root, right? The only difference between this and what we did is I just created a subfolder because I have a bunch of other programs that I'm working on in any given time. And so the way that I do it is I just put it in a subfolder. But when you're ready to put it into the main root folder, you would just put it in this htdocs folder and that would do it. All right. So we just close this out. There's no reason to have that up and running right now. So there you go, Write Code Live. And if you hit enter, you're going to get this big old admin screen. And it's going to say, hey, it's going to walk you through the install. So you say continue, we're English. If you're another language, go ahead and put your language in there. That's cool. We are multicultural here. All right, so now we're going to need a database name, database user, database password, host, and table prefix. Now, this is where you're going to need some other tools. Now, the best tool for managing MySQL, believe it or not, there's a web-based tool for MySQL. It comes with XAMPP, and this is why I recommend XAMPP for you guys, is because it already has the tool. Now, you can get other things, and we'll have links to those down the road. But right now, just click admin here. And that's going to bring, look at this. It's going to bring you to another web page and within your server. There you go. And I already have some databases here already created, ready to go and stuff for other things, other projects stuff. So, but for right now, we're going to create a new database. And, you can give this database a name, whatever you want. I'm going to call it, I typically like to give my databases names that I will remember what they're used for. So write code live, right? And we could actually do WP WordPress. Now, one of the things you will see, now it doesn't really matter with a database because it's all going to be lowercase anyways. But typically when I do variables or names like that, I like to do stuff like this called camel case. And you're going to see why they call it camel case, right? And then see that it's like a camel hump. Each word is capital. I don't like spaces. I don't like underscores. You could do underscores. I don't like spaces. I don't like all that stuff. Definitely don't like spaces. Linux does not like spaces in those words. Windows, I know you can get away with it, but I'm not a big fan of that. So the main thing is go to write code live, and then you can call it WP, right? WordPress. Now you're going to see in database world, it's kind of irrelevant because what it does is it puts it all lowercase anyways. All right. So we created our database. Now we have to give permissions to this database because we got to allow things to connect to it, right? That's how we do things. And you have the root. Remember the root user? You don't ever want to give a website root access to anything. That is not good. So you want to give yourself its own unique permission. So each one of my databases that I have here actually has its own user and its own permissions. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go to privileges on this tab, and it could be under users. It depends on what it is, but you go to privileges and it loads in the privileges and see, actually all these have root. Yeah, we just moved these over from server, so I haven't had time to set them up. But I promise you, when these things are up and running, they will not have root access. And I'll show you that in a little bit. So we're going to add a user account, very simple. And the username, and we're just going to call this write code live, right? That's the user. Now, any host means that you can connect from anywhere in the world, anywhere. Now, tell me that's not a security risk. Tell me that you're not going to be. I do localhost, right? Because my web server, my website is on the same server as my SQL box, as my SQL box. Now, say you had a different database server, like your SQL box was on a different thing. So you would just put that in there. Instead of saying any localhost, you say with host table, you would just define that host here instead of typing in %. That means anything. That's like a default, means everything %. You would just type in that IP address or that name. But we're going to say local. Only the local machine can connect to this database. No one from the outside world. Now, the next thing you want to do is give yourself a password. Now, I use my super secret secure password while I'm doing the demo here. But obviously, when you want to go out and actually connect, do the real deal, you can hit generate here, and what that does is this will actually give you a really super sophisticated password. See it? Copy that, because once it's there, once it's gone, it's gone. Now you can reset your passwords and stuff. That's why you have root access, right? So you can go in there and reset them. But when you go to production, I typically will do something like that. But for right now, while we are testing, you can just type in your super secret password that you use. Don't forget though to change that. You got to change it. All right. So now the global privileges is exactly that. It means that you're going to give this user access to everything that you check here. Don't recommend that. Not at all. That is not what I would recommend. So we just say, okay. Oh, it's going to say, oh, password check. Some plugin, some name is you can't or whatever plugin error, no such file directory. Uh-oh. Wow. Got some permissions issues. That's what it looks like there. Well, shucks. We'll have to figure this one out. See, that's why we do this stuff for you. There is obviously some permissions issues. Let's see what's going on here. Don't you love it? That's why we do this stuff, right? Show plugin some name like password. Oh, it's the password checker. Gotta love it. XAMPP MySQL lib like no such file or directory. So what it's doing is it's looking for a password check software, right? Show plugin some name like. So all right, so let's see. This is a nice thing. See, I'm glad I'm doing this for you with you guys, right? So let's put it in a Googler and see what it says. All right, XAMPP Stack Overflow. Let's see what this sucker says. If you install a in a default folder C and go manual create plugin Explorer, you should fix it. You should create it. All right. Go and manually create the folder C MySQL plugin. So it's telling you that it is missing that. That makes sense, right? So I installed it somewhere else other than C. So apparently there's a defect in their system that if you install this somewhere other than the C drive, you have to create a path to it. So what we'll do is we'll fix that. So we type in, so what I'm doing is I am creating a folder in my C drive. Now, you know what? Better than create it. Something tells me that this probably, because this is actually part of a security. So what we should probably do is, let me just go here to XAMPP. I'm going to grab this MySQL folder and live. There's no, wow. Gotta love it. So this is actually a defect in XAMPP. That's interesting. Cool beans. We'll get over it though. So it's saying XAMPP. So what we need to do is create another folder here, new folder. We're going to call this MySQL. Then in here, we're going to create a new folder. We're going to call this lib. And then here, we're going to create a new folder and we're going to call plugin. All right, let's see if this works. That's what they're saying. All right, go. Can't read directory. Oh. So actually, I got to put it in my E drive. That's where I installed it. Interesting. See, this is one of the reasons why I don't like those, for many reasons. All right, so let's see if we can get over this. See, even guys who've been doing this for years, I tell you. There we go. There we go. Error away. Error is away. We are good to go. All right. So now what we want to see. All right. So that's gone. So now we're going to create a user. Let's try this again. Write code live user. You know, you can make up whatever user you want. Localhost. We only want localhost to have it. And the password is going to be our super secret password. I can see people now going out to all my websites trying that password. It ain't going to work, guys. It ain't going to work. All right. So the thing is that this is global. You don't remember, global means you would be giving these permissions to everybody over here. You don't want to do that. I'll show you what we're going to do here. So we'll say go. There we go. So it created my user. Cool. Cool beans. Now I'm going to go back to user accounts. Here we go. Write code live. Now, under here, and it depends on the tool that you're using, but in this case, we're using the PHP MyAdmin. So under this tool here, we're going to go to edit privileges, right? Now, under edit privileges, under the database, we're going to select the database. So write code live, all privileges on this database. So we're just going to select. Now, they don't need all these privileges. And let me kind of go through all of this. Select means you can pick, you can pull something. Remember the file cabinet? When I use the file cabinet, databases are like file cabinets. Select allows you to pull a file from the file cabinet. So yeah, we're going to want that. Because we're going to pull data from it. Insert allows you to put files into the file cabinet. And we're going to want that as well. Update is going to allow you to update files in the file cabinet. Take a file out, update it. Yeah, we're going to need that because we're going to be updating things. And delete allows you to delete files. Now, sometimes you would not want to delete. I don't believe in deleting databases. Data is cheap, and storage of data is very cheap. So a good software developer, a good software design would never delete anything. What you do is just make it inactive. And making something inactive is more of an update, right? It's not a delete. You're not, delete is gone. You're erasing it. Now, I know that WordPress makes you, it actually deletes things. So we're going to need that. We're absolutely going to need delete privileges. Now, the next thing is the structure side. Now, we're going to be creating, we haven't created our database yet. We're just setting up our user. We're going to have to install WordPress, which means we're going to have to create something. So I also know that we're going to have to keep create checked. Now, we don't need any of these, so we can actually uncheck all these, but make sure you check create. Now, when we're done, we're going to come back and we're going to delete this. Now, create means you can create something. Alter means you can change a database. Now, remember, this is database. So this is, think of it like these are not the files or the records. These are like the folders, right? In the database. So alter, index, typically someone creates those folders for you and then you just put stuff in and out of them, right? And drop, index drop is like delete, create temporary tables means that you can create subtables and stuff, but they'll be deleted later. Show views means that these are kind of like, you can only view them. You can't alter anything. Create routines and alter routines. These are programs. Allows you to create programs, things of that nature. And like I said, we can get into this a little bit later when we talk about databases and stuff. But for right now, we know we're going to create a database. We haven't created it yet. We just created a user. The other thing is that on administration, there's nothing here in administration that you're going to need permissions for. Now, why is this important? Why not give it access to everything? Well, let me tell you, it's another level of security. Just because you allow your lawn keeper to come and mow your grass, to come on your property, does that mean you allow them to come in your house? Or your housekeeper, if you have one, if you're fortunate enough to have one? Does that mean you give them access to your safe or to your bank? No, you give them access to what they need. And it's the same thing with security. Nothing irks me more, and we'll talk about security. I can tell you without a doubt, I've worked with huge corporation. You guys probably saw some of the folders as I was going through some of the active projects I got going on right now. It's in that directory that you just read. Gotta get some coffee. And I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, security lacks because people lack. People are too lazy. They just, they just install this stuff and they go, oh, it's gonna work. I'll get to it later, right? No, you got to take an active role in security. If you're going to do this stuff, I can tell you, I have never been hacked. Never. And yeah, that's a challenge. It really is. I've never been hacked. Now, I've had sites denial of service. I've had different things like that, but I have never, ever been hacked. And let me tell you why, because I adhere to a security policy, to a security manual or procedure. So, all right. So we're going to give ourselves, we're going to say go. And that's going to give me the permissions. Now remember our user, right? Write code live user. That's our user that we're using, and we're going to need this information to complete our WordPress setup. Oh, it's on 2 different screens. So let me just bring this over here. I didn't know if you guys knew that you can drag a tab. So I'll just keep this screen open. That would kind of help me. All right. So let's go. Let's get this thing, or let's get this working. All right. So our database name, we already gave it. So it's Write Code Live, right? Write Code Live. Now this is case sensitive, and case sensitive means that you have to do it. I don't know why. You have to do it just the same way that you did it when you created it here. See this right here? All right. Username. Well, we know that. We just created that. That's what I wanted to copy and paste. Our password, super secret password. That's our super secret password, guys. I think that's it. And in WordPress, this is our, and I typically would put a prefix in front of it. And the reason being is because, it lets me know if I add other non-WordPress tables files to that, it lets me know what are WordPress, what are not. Right? So there we go. We got our super secret password, our username, our database name. We're connecting to localhost. Now, if we were connecting to an external server, we'd put that IP there or that name there or whatever. And then you hit submit. Keep your fingers crossed. All right, Sparky, you made it through the part of the installation. There we go. Run the install. Now watch what happens. It's going to go through and create an install. And now what you're going to do is give your site a name, and this is going to be called it's going to be Write Code Live is going to be the name. The username is whatever name you're going to give it to make it in production. Now I just use admin for now, and then actually we'll just use admin. Now, here is the password to log in to the site. That's going to be too much. So I'm just going to do this, right, for right now. And it's going to tell you very weak. Now, this is local. When I go to production, I use like huge passwords. My passwords are 32 characters long. Yeah. So, but for local, for testing and stuff, I just keep it right there. It's the easiest. Confirm use of weak password. Yeah, that's fine. And discourage search engines from indexing this site and everything. Now, I will say, because it is local, but they're not going to hit me externally now for right now. I mean, this is all local. So they're not searching. Google's not going to be able to come into my server, into my network, into it. So it doesn't matter. But I leave that unchecked though. Down the road when you need Google and want to Yahoo and all those things, you're going to want that unchecked. So there you go. And then say install. It's going to want an email address. Oh, I didn't see that. So let me put in my email. There you go. Write Code Live at Gmail. This is important too, because if you lose a password or something like that, it's gonna email that to you. All right. Let's say install. And there it goes. It's doing its magic. Dun, 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 dun. Need some background music. Success. There we go. We're going to log in. And now choose your password. Oh. Your chosen password. Log in. Oh, see, it automatically. There we go. And say login. Oh, it wouldn't let me in. What? Did I use my other password? Username. See, there we go. See, super secret. I had to remember. I forgot I put the 1 in front of it. See, there you go. So this is the default WordPress landing page. Now, if you just came to the site itself, that's what it's going to look like. This is a template that creates this. Now, tomorrow we're going to create our own templates, but there are plenty of templates you can get on your own. And, now that I'm logged in as admin, I see all of this stuff, and these are how we administer and all of that stuff. So we'll just go to dashboard. Now, the first thing that I do whenever I come to a WordPress site is I go to the updates page, because like anything else, you update and it will tell you and it's very important that you update your plugins. Keep these things up to date and everything. So we've installed WordPress, guys and gals, boys and girls. Now, what does all this do? I'll have to show you later. That is right. That'll be a topic for tomorrow, how to administer your WordPress site after we've installed it and everything. Now, the main thing is, you got posts, you got categories. So think of now your posts as being your articles, things that you're going to write. Categories are going to be the type of articles, if it's about technology, if it's about security, if it's about whatever. And then of course, media is, any files and stuff. And we'll get into this a little bit later as we get into the site. But right now, like I said, we have successfully installed WordPress. It is up and running. We can see the screen. You can change your theme or template out. There's many different. You can add more. You can do all sorts of different things. But we're going to create our own because these are pretty lacking. These are really, really lacking. So we're going to create our own. And that's what we're going to start with tomorrow to kind of kick this off. We're going to create a basic WordPress theme, and then we'll grow from there. And by the end of the week, we should have a site up and running. For those that want to know, if you go here and you go refresh, here's all the tables that were created. Before they weren't there. That's right. So these are all the tables. Think of these are all the files that are now in your file cabinet for your WordPress site. And we'll get into these a little bit later. I am going to create privileges on, and I do recommend that you keep the create privileges because we're going to be adding things. We're going to be remember, allows us to create tables and things of that nature. Now, once we're done creating tables and everything, you can uncheck this, which means that no one can create anything else on your database, but they can still select, insert, update, and delete. And remember, only this user can do that. Or root, obviously. Root is root, not Groot, but root. I hope these videos are useful for you guys. We'll continue to put them out there. I know that right now things are going kind of slow, and you wish we could have things a little bit faster, but you got to take your time and do in due course, my friends, in due course. Don't get ahead of yourselves and everything. So, wow, had Burger King today. It's tearing me up. But tomorrow, I will tell you, starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow, we are going to be on the air doing the show. I'm going to be talking to you guys. We're going to put our phone number up there. And I will take your questions live on the air. That's right. And then hopefully help you guys starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow. We will be live on the air. I'll be doing some coding. We're going to, I'm going to start on, we're going to install our environment that we're going to use, our coding environment. Now, we're going to use Eclipse. I use PHP Zend. You can use whatever you want. I mean, it is a scripting language, so you can actually use Notepad if you wanted to. But to give you some tools, we're going to install Eclipse. I'm going to show you how to install Eclipse for PHP tomorrow, and we'll start our programming and get this puppy going, get our website up and running. But like always, if you like the video, please leave your comments below. If you don't like the video, oh well. Tech support, so I'm used to pissed off people or upset individuals. I don't know why you'd be upset with me, but oh well, I'm sure there's a few people out there. But the thing is leave your comments. I'll get back to you. Just be appropriate. Keep it on topic. I don't want to hear, these are technology related things. I don't care what Obama did. Last time I checked, Obama was not a computer programmer, except he did pay an astronomical amount of money for that failed website called Obamacare. But that's another story. And that's what we're going to create. We're actually going to create a site very similar to that. A lot of people ask, why would I use WordPress? Why would I install WordPress versus going to GoDaddy and stuff? Well, it gives you a lot more flexibility, number one. Number two, I will tell you that people in business, I do a lot of B2B business to business. if you use Wix, there's nothing wrong with those template-like sites, but people know the quality and the cookie cutter. So you want to be a little bit different than your competition. And believe it or not, it's not that hard, guys. You don't have to geek out. You don't have to be a basement dweller or anything to learn how to do this stuff. Just hang in there with us. Ask your questions. Make sure you shoot me emails. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Join us here like I said, tomorrow at 11 o'clock live. I will take your phone calls. We will do screen shares. I'll show you how to do everything that you need to do in order to get your site up and running. And I'm not a graphic designer. Now, you might need to hire a graphic designer, but I'll show you some tips and some tricks and things like that. You don't have to be a huge graphic designer, but I'll show you how to use Photoshop and everything. But be well. That is it for today. I'm gonna get over here. I got some coding to do today, but tomorrow you're actually gonna see some cool stuff. I mean, like I said, we're gonna spend starting at 11 o'clock. I'll take your calls, answer your questions, and then you're gonna see me do some other coding, some pretty in-depth coding as I work through some other issues and stuff and talk to you guys live. But be well. Make sure you tell your friends, your family, everybody about us. And like always, if you got a message, if you got something you got to share, I'm sure that's why you're here, bloggers. The reason why we're putting this together to help you guys promote your products, your services, all that good stuff. But like always, be well, take care, and most importantly, as my good friend Ed Roman would say, be love. I'm out of here. As my good friend Ed Roman would say.
I'm a messenger. I'm a radical. I am love. I'm a messenger. I'm a radical. I am love. Like any other human being who's cruciform control, no longer in search of meaning, I'll utilize my soul to be a messenger, to be a radical, to be love. Be a messenger, be a radical, be love. Falling from the matrix, why is what can set you free. And if you look behind the curtain and then into the mirror, then I think you'll see. Be a messenger, be a radical, be love. Be a messenger, be a radical, be love, be love, be love. But I only hope that blood, sweat, and toil catches up with us all. The scars that you get each day make you stronger somehow in some way. Look for your own truth in your heart when it's bold. You know, it may seem like a coda, but I learned it from my Baba. It's not what you believe, it's what you do. It's what you do. It's what you do. It's what you're doing now. Like a vibration occupation in a fraction of an inch. And loving all is one is supposed to be a cinch.